Okie dokie, folks. Welcome back to Hadean Lands, episode 5. And welcome to the players. We're all here apart from Mike, as he's presumably in an online lecture somewhere, learning about medieval stuff. Maybe alchemy. Maybe, maybe his specialist knowledge is exactly what we're lacking at the moment. But yeah, we're all here ready to carry on exploring the unanswerable retort, our mysterious vessel ship that sails between different lands, different spheres, and in which something has gone hideously wrong and has trapped us and removed all of the crew apart from the 2 that we can see through these fractures in space-time. And so we need to figure out how to repair the ship and then figure out what has happened to it and why we are in this predicament. And last week we managed to get out of the science lab, the alchemy section, and into the rest of the ship. And we tried to get into the medical bay, but there's like a bad smell. Or is it called an aura of something? There's a bad aura. I wonder if I can find out what it was. What it actually was. An aura cloud. Yeah, there was an aura cloud. That means we can't go into it. And there's also a cabinet that's covered in some gunk that we can't open. We went into the airlock. We looked out over a Hadean land. We went into the nave, we went into the reception area and the main doors where people come in when we're at dock. In our home sphere, which we discovered is called Gaia. Then we explored the area around the exoscaphe, which is some kind of vehicle that allows us to explore outside the ship. And that's where we are right now. We're inside the exoscaphe, and there's a pilot's tower or turret above us with a door that we can't open because the pressure would need to be equalized between the pressure in the exoscaphe and the pressure in the turret. And I stupidly tried going west last time without looking at the map and realizing that that's just an entrance to the void, as we found several entrances to the void, which essentially act as a time and space reset, starting us at the beginning, but with all of our knowledge intact, but all of the objects we found returned to their original locations. So that's where we are. I haven't really done much in the meantime. Wasn't really much to do. But someone did mention that there was a comment saying the roof had been damaged. And so, as we're in the exoscaphe right now, if I go east into the Scaphe Arcade and north to the North Arcade...
Somebody commented.
Oh, yes. Someone mentioned the fact that it had said that the roof was damaged last week on the stream. I think Lee...
We were trying to work out, because there's paper outside the scaphe. And so we were trying to work out whether it was airtight outside, which we kind of assume it is not, and the roof being damaged would be a pretty good indication that it's not safe to go outside.
We never actually looked at the damage, so I've just gone to the North Arcade to look through the window to see if we can assess the damage to the roof and get more information. However, I've just gone into the North Arcade and it says, amongst the rest of the description, you catch a spark of light reflected in the oculus from somewhere. So there's another opportunity to use our oculus. These seem to be random. These sparks seem to just pop up, don't they?
I was going to say, because we've been here before, haven't we?
Yeah.
So it's not location based.
So look at spark through oculus. The oculus reveals a topaz spark floating in the air. Examine spark through oculus. You focus on the topaz spark through the oculus. A new memory comes into focus. Well, you hear stories, right? Things folks see at the moment we rig out. Flashes no more, the ghost of the cold crucible, lost and drowned in a Thalassian sea. Well, I know the crucible arrived safe home and never reported any trouble on Titan. Maybe the ghost is what didn't happen, or what will. Still want to gripe you were posted here instead of to the cruci? You consider these memories. All right, so there's something of a kind of a nautical, kind of lore, I guess, about our ship. So there was another ship, another marcher, I guess, called the Cold Crucible, that was lost, but then it arrived safely home and never reported any trouble on Titan. People have seen it in the Thalassian Sea or Thalassan Sea. I mean,
I was wondering whether the rig out is when you pass from one world to another.
Yeah.
And that the flashes are like visions or sightings of a flash of the Cold Crucible being lost.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think rig out possibly is an old term for leaving dock, but actually in this case it's like it teleports, doesn't it? I don't think it traverses anything. And I guess in that moment there's a flash of something, and some people see an image of the Cold Crucible.
I've actually managed to spend the entire week not thinking about Event Horizon. Now suddenly, just suddenly thinking about this, a ship lost, and then suddenly it's come back again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to watch this movie.
Oh God, no.
I mean, it's a common one, right? It's like the Mary Celeste that was found without a crew, and the Flying Dutchman, and there's a game at the moment, isn't there? Called the Return of the. Oh God, what's it called? Not Anne Boleyn. Oh, I'm kicking myself. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But it's like another puzzle game. It's a modern kind of retro-inspired puzzle game where you're basically investigating what happened aboard this ship that's just turned up. And you get flashes of people being murdered and have to figure out why and who, and like a detective thing around this.
Turn of the Obra Dinn.
Obra Dinn, yeah, that's it. Not Anne Boleyn.
Cockney rhyming slang.
Yeah. Okay, so another memory from the Topaz Spark. We should probably write these memories down. Just bloody good that we're recording this on video.
Isn't it recorded in our journal or something, our memories?
I don't think our memories are. I think Woody's just disappeared. Okay, if I say remember, you've learned 9 rituals and an impressive list of alchemical formulae, and picked up assorted facts, but nothing about the sparks. And if I say remember Topaz Spark. Okay, if I say remember Topaz Spark, it says you focus on the Topaz Sparks through the oculus. It brings to mind the cold crucible gossip which you already know. Oh, look, it's one of the facts. The cold crucible gossip is one of the facts. So I guess these sparks are being recorded. They're being recorded as facts. But it's not obvious which ones came from sparks and which ones didn't. Yeah. Looking in the journal, it's just the quote. Okay, anyway, if we look through the window here, the thick glass is a bit wavy, but you can see the exoscape bay on the other side. It's a high brick hall, the mirror of this one, but with vast steel doors on the far side. Most of the bay is taken up by the exoscape itself, a lumpy metal tortoise on track tread wheels. The scaife is backed up to its entry portal, which connects to this hall southwards. The bay roof appears to have been damaged. There seems to be a bit of paper lying at the far end of the bay. So if you say examine roof, through the window you see that the bay roof is badly damaged. Chunks of brick vaulting have fallen away, leaving a wide crack through which shine the brilliant forbidding stars of a Hadean land. Pieces of roof have fallen on the exoscaphe itself. It's hard to tell, but it looks like the scaphe's upper dome is also cracked, and the rest of the hull is battered and dented. So it could be that this scaphe isn't going anywhere, unless we figure out how to repair it.
Certainly sounds like it's not going anywhere.
I mean, we don't know the extent of our powers to repair things, so... anyway, let's go back in. So it says a circular bench runs around the perimeter, broken only by the dark engine compartment to the west and the exit portal to the east. The portal is open. You see a small emergency lever next to it. A cabinet is fastened to the wall. Its latch is tied shut with a knot of white cord, and we can't untie the knot. And the hatch above our head that leads to the pilot's dome is closed. If we say open it, can't be opened against the pressure differential. If you say look at engine compartment, the engine compartment is very, very dark. I think that's a clue, isn't it? Every time we look towards the void, it says it's very, very dark. So I don't think there is an engine compartment.
So do we feel that we cannot shut... Oh, okay, so the cabinet latch is tied with the cord.
Yes.
So can we shut the door and equalize the pressure so that we can open the hatch?
Yeah, so close portal. You close the heavy steel portal. And then the lever says, this hand length lever is marked emergency exoscaphe pressure equalization. So just pull it. When in doubt, just pull levers, right? You give the lever a quick tug, air shrieks through the valve, and you feel your ears pop. Gah! You release the lever before the pressure in the exoscaphe can drop further. Suffocating yourself is not on the agenda. Okay. That's possibly because the dome is depressurized, so it's trying to equalize the pressure between the dome and the exoscaphe.
Or it's trying to depressurize the scaphe so that you could escape. So if you imagine you were stuck in the scaphe outside, you wouldn't be able to get out unless you depressurized the scaphe.
It's not clear what when it says emergency exoscaphe pressure equalization, what's it equalizing with?
Yeah.
I
mean, I guess it must be the outside, because I got confused. I thought it was to equalize it with inside, but of course it already was equalized to inside. That's why the door was open, so it must be to outside.
No, but do you mean inside the scaphe? Because the scaphe has two compartments.
Oh, well, I'm assuming that the pressure inside the scaphe... Oh, I see, because that's why we can't go upstairs, you mean?
Yes.
Well, we don't have any kind of suit, so I don't think...
No, but if the dome wasn't cracked and there was pressure in there, to open the pilot door, you'd have to make sure that the two are equalized.
Okay.
Well, I guess we can't do anything anyway, so
no.
It's not going to let us.
No. And I guess now we can open the portal again. You unseal the portal. There's a brief hiss as the pressure re-equalizes. You swing it open. Okay. Okay. I mean, it may be... there's a changing room to the north, isn't there? So maybe you can get changed into some kind of pressure suit. But we can't get in there either, can we? Because if we go north...
Oh, yeah.
It says to the north, a massive door of pale marble, outrageously carved. The door is closed. And if you say open door, you tug on the marble handle, but the door is locked. We did have a chip of marble, so I don't know if there's some ritual we can do to make marble turn to jelly or something. We don't
Make
know.
a marble key.
Well, I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a lock. The door is locked.
What was that?
It's locked. There's got to be a lock.
Yeah, it says unlock door. What do you want to unlock the marble door with? If I say marble chip, it says that doesn't seem to fit the lock. So
What was that thing? There was something about something you can do when you have the same material or the same alloy as something else. Do you remember that? Because we were wondering whether we could get into the cabinet or something using this. It just seems that we've got a massive marble door and we happen to have a chip of marble as well. Seems that's not a coincidence.
No.
Well,
So, for example, our universal tarnish cleansing ritual is a universal version of something that's specific to a material. The other ones we know, the basic tarnish rituals, employ the law of similarity. A steel token removes rust from steel, etc. So if you want to...
We can just really clean it then, can we?
Yeah, we could really clean the marble, but I don't think that's going to help us. I have put... I've listed all of the formulas, rituals, and facts in the doc for you, so you can refer to them. And I've put in... Earlier today, I put bullets with the important bit of the description for them. I didn't get to do all of them, but most of them basically, especially the rituals, because knowing the rituals are important, right? Like, is it the rituals? Yeah, the rituals are important because the rituals do something, right? I need to figure out which formulae to use to get the rituals to do stuff. But the rituals basically are the thing that we're trying to achieve, like fire synth resistance or making an oculus or making fungicide. I then have to use the right objects and formulae to carry out the ritual in order to do it. But for us solving puzzles, I think the thing that's important to us is what the rituals do.
Can we look at the door? I want to see the outrageous carvings.
Yeah. The door to the north is an imposing marble slab carved with cherubs and incongruously cheery grapevines. You've always wondered if this part of the march was taken from a decadent bathhouse somewhere. Not that decadent bathhouses are part of your life experience, but that be that as it may, the door is firmly shut. Yeah, if you look at cherubs, you get the same. Oops. Grapevines, you get the same.
Just have to wait for the people to get out of the bath.
So, I mean, I think...
Let's go up to the quarters, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go to the quarters. Okay, north. Quarters access. This wing of the retort is all quartering and mess. The hall continues north to the elevated realms of the officers. Your lowly domain is to the west. The body of the marcher is south. A fragment of paper lies at the junction. If you don't know, mess is where people eat, where soldiers and sailors eat, the mess hall. Well, that's very much a military thing rather than a navy thing, right? Navy, do they eat in the mess? I'm not sure they do. Anyway, there's usually an officer's mess and a enlisted men's mess.
Isn't it the galley on a ship?
That's the kitchen. I don't think people eat there. I think that's where the food's prepared.
Yeah, the crew mess is where the crew eat.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's read this paper. The partial sheet. You don't recognise the handwriting. Quote, That the formal structure of a thing may be joined to the spirit or essence, thus replicating the thing itself, is the foundation of modern practice. Indeed, historians argue that the marriage metaphor of ancient alchemy prefigures this principle, but to apply it recursively, parsing the structure and spirit of the spirit itself requires the utmost care. You memorize the information and also add the sheet, your bundle of paper. Okay. That's a paper on the recursive metaphor technique. Which we have no idea what that means. Okay, north. Officer country. Ah, okay. Ah, right. So we could have gone east. West. Or north. Well, let's have a look around here first, shall we? Let's look in the junior quarters first, I guess. Officer country. It's widely rumoured that an ensign walking this far up the hall will instantly combust. You still might, you suppose. The officer's mess is somewhere up there, but a fracture prevents you from going any further. The senior officer's quarters are east and the juniors are west. That's the captain leaning against the wall. You freeze in a reflexive panic before realising that she is behind the fracture, frozen herself. Okay, so there's a fracture to the north. And our captain is the other side of it. Also,
that seems like an important task that we have to do.
Yeah.
Save the captain.
Captain Hart leans her burly frame against the wall. She's eyeing the hallway as if worried that someone was about to walk by, which is absurd, of course. The captain doesn't worry. Lowly officers worry about her. West, then, I guess?
Yep.
Junior quarters. This room is the bunk space of the junior officers. Junior meaning still above you, of course. The bunks are narrow but fussily neat, with a locker next to each. The exit is to the east. The largest locker draws your eye. Its latch is tied shut with a knot of white cord. A broad sheet of paper is pinned next to the locker. You also notice a clay tile lying under one of the bunks. I'm going to pick up the tile. You pick up the labyrinth tile. Examine tile. This is a small clay tile embossed with a labyrinth figure. Okay. Let's look at this paper then.
David
broad...
Bowie? David Bowie?
Labyrinth. Oh, a labyrinth figure. Yeah, obviously there's a paper maze further south. I don't know if that's anything related. Read paper, the broadsheet. This seems to be a practical assignment for the junior alchemists. Quote, today's friendly challenge for the juniors. Open your locker. The cord is white fuse, a material which burns quickly and cleanly, but only when ignited with elemental fire. I've left tomorrow's assignment in the locker, so don't dawdle. You recognise Sergeant Brooks's handwriting. He really treats the juniors much more kindly than the swabbies, doesn't he? Printed on the back of the sheet are the formal instructions. Igniting elemental fire. Fire is the only pure element of the European tradition which cannot be refined from mundane matter. It must be ignited, and only phlogisticated gold can support its combustion. If one has a source of elemental fire, igniting a new wick is simple, but if not, the procedure is arduous. One must place the phlogisticated metal in a vapour crock with a bit of camphrost and burning blackwood. The only flame hot enough to begin the reaction. Seal the crock. Once the camphrost vapour pressure has built to the flash point, the metal will be ignited. You memorise the instructions and also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. Okay. This is in our journal under fact as the white fuse challenge. And the ritual is gold ignition.
We don't have any gold, do we? Oh, we have got
do.
phlogistic gold. We do.
Oh
We,
yeah, there.
we think we have all of the things that are required. We've got a crock. I think we've got blackwood. Wooden splints. Yes, blackwood. We have it. And camp frost is there, isn't it? There's lumps of camp frost. So we could go to the Pyrrhic lab and make this, or we carry on exploring.
Well, I guess that opening the locker might be useful. So
Yeah, opening the locker is useful, but presumably this is the same white cord that's holding the cabinet shut in the exoscape, you'd imagine. Oh. If I say examine white cord, so the locker is closed, the latch is bound up with a tight knot of glittering white cord. So, what should we do? Should we just carry on exploring around here and then do the things? What do people want to do?
Altar.
I mean, I feel like we should explore more.
Yeah? Okay. I think that's probably it for here then, isn't it? There's nothing on the bunks. No, nothing of interest. Okay. Let's go east then. Deck suite. This looks like a comfortable place to drink tea. It must be a lounge set aside for deck officers, the 3 important enough to rate private staterooms. The 3 doors are marked with the symbols of Venture, north, Alchemy, south, and Aethery, east. All 3 are closed. A locked cabinet hangs on the wall. You notice another aromatic impet nearby. It's labelled Kelp. Prying into the business of your superiors now. Maybe there's hope for you, kid. Okay.
Chris, what is the A3?
I don't know. I mean, it's come up a few times, isn't it? Aethery.
Yeah, we thought it might be something to do with the air.
The air. Yeah. But obviously, it's now an important thing. Like venture, I guess, is navigation, possibly. Alchemy, of course, is making things. And Aethery. Those are the 3 major things that merit officers important enough to have their own rooms. And of course, the captain's quarters were to the north that we can't get to. Also, this input that says kelp, wasn't there something about seaweed in the aromas lecture?
What's an impet?
I guess it's just a little glass bottle. Is that what an impet is?
Seaweed was for breath.
Right. Yeah. Citronella is strengthening. Seaweed has something to do with breath. It was a tedious lecture. You're right. Well done.
Oh, right. They're breathing underwater.
Yeah.
Or holding up breath for ages, obviously.
Oh yeah, that could be useful, eh? Like we have a hatch that's flooded.
So can we take the impet then? Because
Yeah.
the aromatic impet sounds like something where you prepare the air, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess you create an atmosphere of seaweed or whatever of breath or something. But we don't actually know how to make like a breathing underwater potion or anything.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Okay, let's look at this cabinet. The cabinet is a squarish compartment of some anonymous alloy. It is locked with an Aethery file lock. Oh, don't we have a... What have we got? What's that? thing we've got. Oh, we've got an alchemy file seal. We've got a Rutilum alchemy file seal, but it's locked with an aethery file. So these are three.
We just need to find one of those lying around.
Yeah, just lying on the floor. So there's venture, alchemy, and aethery. These are 3 files in the. And there's different seals for each of them, I guess. So we don't have an aethery file seal to open the aethery lock. Obviously. Okay.
It's good to see that having asked what an impet is, we already had 3 of them. So it's good to see them paying attention.
We already had 3 of them, you're right. Yeah, we got them right. That was the first thing, wasn't it?
There's just too many words that I didn't understand.
Has anybody actually looked up what impet means? I'm just assuming that it's a small glass bottle. No.
Golden
Like a small imp.
Yeah.
Oh, so venture, it says, was north, and that's master at arms. So presumably that's like master at arms hands out weapons, right? Or is that? Am I just?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And high tower is east, and the rector is south. That was alchemy was south, right?
That's right. Yeah.
And aethery. So a high tower is aethery. Okay, let's try going there. Opening the aethery door. High tower. You have found Captain Hart's private quarters. Oh, I thought Captain Hart's. What's further north then?
We can't go further north.
No, we can't. But I thought
think
it
was
said.
the mess, wasn't it?
Oh, is it? I suppose I can scroll right back to see. Oh yeah, the officer's mess is somewhere up there, but a fracture prevents you from going any further. Okay, so, and then it says deck suite. Lounge set aside for the deck officers, the 3 important enough to rate private staterooms. So the captain is one of the deck officers. So the aethery is the most important of the 3 files then. If the high tower, the aethery door is Captain Hart's private quarters, you'd imagine the captain would be the highest ranking person on the ship. You have found the Captain Hart's private quarters. In Marcher lore, though never in the captain's presence, this hallowed spot is called the High Tower. It looks disappointingly unmedieval, though. Spartan decor, a bunch of regulation width and crispness. Some small clay discs are strewn on the bunk. They have designs imprinted on them. Are these reverse moulds for the retort's file badges? The venture, alchemy, and medical moulds are visible. Another cabinet hangs on the wall. This one has no seal or keyhole, but an alchemical symbol shines on the cover. A shiny sheet of paper has fallen near the cabinet. So we might have to make a seal. Oh, I've just said get discs, because it said some small clay discs are strewn on the bunk. And it said, there's no reason to mess with the sophic lamps. Something may be wrong with Pneuma, but you can't fix it from here. That's a very weird message.
So, sorry, what does
Okay.
Sophic and Newman mean?
Okay, well, I've just examined discs, and it says Sophic lanterns are set high on the walls, as they are throughout the Marcher. They're ivory discs engraved with runes to draw phlogiston from Pneuma and disperse it as light. Something is wrong with the lanterns, however. Their light is weak and unsteady. The Marcher has become a place of dim shadows. So this is the lighting throughout the whole ship, are these Sophic lanterns. Sophic I mean, sophistry is like verbal cleverness, isn't it? Sophistry. It's like Greek philosophers were gifted in sophistry, or there's a difference between real philosophers that actually had weight to their words, and those that were just sophists that could talk very eloquently and cleverly but didn't actually say anything meaningful. That's sophistry. I don't know if Sophic has anything to do with that. But whatever the Sophic lanterns, why they're called it, they are ivory discs with runes that draw phlogiston, which was the fire making stuff, from pneuma, and disperse it as light. But there's when we try and get them, it says something may be wrong with pneuma, but you can't fix it from here. We don't know what pneuma is, but that's obviously it's dark because it's not getting enough phlogiston from whatever pneuma is. But that's a complete aside, because we could have done that in any location. We never looked at the lights, but the lights are discs. So let's look at clay discs. You can't see any such thing. Let's look at mold then. Okay, try examining the venture file clay mold. Okay. Let's try get molds. Venture file clay mold, alchemy clay mold, medical file clay mold. Okay, so we can just pick them up. They are clay molds. But the one that we need for that other cabinet we don't have. Okay, if we look at the alchemy mold, a thumb-sized clay disc with a reverse impression of a Marcher alchemy file badge. Okay. Let's look at the cabinet. Cabinet is a squarish compartment made of plate rutulum. Fancy, or perhaps practical. Rutulum is supposed to have spiritual qualities. The cabinet is closed. The alchemical symbol for attraction shines on its surface. You pull on the cabinet, but the cover is stuck tight. The symbol must be holding it closed. Okay. Read the shiny sheet of paper. It appears to be a research note. The phlogistication of electrum regium. Phlogisticated gold is well known, but is not the only metal which may be alchemically charged. Electrum regium, an alloy of platinum and moon metal, is by far the easiest. Unlike gold, it may be phlogisticated with a simple laboratory procedure. Place a rod of electrum into a catalytic environment and seal with a simple sealing. Pour yang oil over the metal and invoke elementary binding. Then, on the back, while phlogisticated gold is commonly used to support elemental fire, recent research indicates possible substitutes. Electrum regium is the most promising. While it does not survive the usual Campfrost procedure, phlogisticated electrum regium can be ignited directly from an existing source of elemental fire. Memorize these instructions and also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. Okay. So it's another method to get elemental fire.
Okay, so we have platinum, we have moon metal, and we know how to combine them as well, don't we?
We do. Do we have yang oil?
I don't remember any yang oil.
I don't either. No. Mineral oil. Yeah, Lubanja, but no yang oil. Okay, but we do have phlogisticated gold, so we don't know how long these things last. When you set fire to them, how long is that gold going to stay burning? This is all, I guess, stuff to experiment with. Okay, I don't think there's anything else to look at here. We
Just
could.
one more puzzle.
Hmm.
If we go north, you open the door and discover another Hadean landscape. The world is dark, layered with black dust, not the common stone grey of most Hadean lands. The sun is a blinding pinprick on the horizon. Okay, so that's another view into Hadean lands. And then if you go south, first opening the alchemy door, Master Rector's quarters. This is where the Master Rector of the Unanswerable Retort sleeps, and presumably where he incinerates anybody who sniggers at his title. You can't see any scorch marks, but that just means he's tidy. In one corner is a compact writing desk with a couple of sheets of paper stacked on it. You see a rough sheet and a fine sheet. Read rough sheet. This is Brodzik inscription to render one's aura impermeable to harm. Ooh. Invoke an environment of spiritual peace. Begin with a quartz token on the bound. In the bound, this represents the Ka soul. Invoke the Ka ceiling. Place a bit of oralcum into the bound, representing the Ba soul. Speak a word of anaphylaxis. At this point, but no sooner, add a strengthening element to the atmosphere. Close with a binding of antipathy to repel harmful influences. Touch the token to a subject, and his aura will be nearly invulnerable for a few moments. Then on the back, spiritual environment, meditative symbols on shelf, brackets, rainbow. You memorize the instructions and also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. So, blimey. We have quartz. I've no idea what the Ka ceiling is. We have other ceilings. We know what a strengthening element is. We know binding of antipathy. And we have a rainbow because we have the token card thing.
We have to place a bit of whatever the heck that word is into the bound. Have we got that?
Orichalcum. I think we do, don't we? Or maybe not. No, maybe not. Don't have it on us.
Okay, but that will let us into the medical wing.
How are you feeling, Jimmy?
I mean, speak a word of anaphylaxis.
Yes.
This is just getting silly.
I think it is. I think it's supposed to be silly. I don't think it's supposed to be serious.
Mm.
It uses some awfully serious words.
I know.
Yeah, it's silly but not funny.
Okay, what was the other one? There's a rough sheet and a fine sheet. The paper describes two mathematical structures, an isomorphic group and an idempotent group. You memorize the information, including the two formulae. You also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. Okay.
Well, at least I know what idempotency is.
I was hoping you would, because I don't.
The idempotency is, well, it's to do with the identity of something, but it means that if you do something and then you do it again, the second time you do it has no effect.
Oh.
So the idea in computer science is that if you repeat playing a message into a message queue or something, if you replay the message, the second time you play it, it doesn't do anything because it already knows that it's done it.
Okay. So it says in our journal, it says the idempotent group is a mathematical structure which maps many things to one thing. And an isomorphic group maps things to equivalent things. Okay, anyway. Certainly the aura thing is going to be useful. Again, we're just going around and collecting all of this stuff together, and then we're going to have to pull at things. So we're still in the process of gathering information, aren't we? Let's leave the captain's or the officers' quarters and come south and go into
study room and
the enlisted men. So we're here now. North is the study room and south is the underward. And we are in Scrubs country. This familiar, faintly grubby hallway runs west towards the quarters and mess of the midshipmen and ensigns. To the north is a study room for you apprentices. To the south is your wardroom. Unfortunately, another crack prevents you from proceeding any further down the hall. Yep. Okay, let's go north then. Study room. This small library is used by the apprentices and trainees to swat up on lecture notes. Introductory textbooks and battered lexicons are heaped up untidily in the corners. The exit is south. 2 papers, a torn sheet and a filthy sheet are lying here. A rice paper ribbon is poking out from under a stack of books. Let's get the ribbon and let's read the torn sheet. This is another potion receipt. A potion to hold one's breath. By properly balancing the phlogiston of the lungs and blood, one may retain breath for several minutes without discomfort. Prepare an exhilarant environment. Aroma is particularly important for this working. One will also need a paten of exhilarant symbolism, prepared on the Gestalt shelf. Place a measure of saline into the bound. Begin with the simple sealing, followed by the anodyne evocation. Place a bit of elemental wood upon the paten and ignite it. Conclude with an elementary binding. You recall from an unusually digressive lecture that one never uses the chymic retort for potions intended to be drunk. You are also pretty sure that exhilarant symbolism has to do with wind, air, and breath. Also, for some reason, seaweed. You memorize the instructions and add the sheet to your bundle of paper. Okay, so we might have everything to do that. That's probably what that paten is about, isn't it? A paten of exhilarant symbolism. That's what we actually have. Palm-sized porcelain disc painted with feathers and the Chinese sign for breath. Okay, what was the other? Filthy sheet. This describes the creation of an alchemical instrument to create a planetary lens which reveals symbolic associations of the celestial sphere. This will require 2 glass lenses of matching curvature. Prepare environment with lunar influences, ensuring that the atmosphere is free of aromas. Place 1 lens within the bound and invoke a simple sealing followed by a word of essential nature. Let 1 drop of Java spirit upon the lens and place the other lens atop it. The binding of the celestial sphere will fuse the lenses and empower them. You memorize the instructions and also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. So I think when it says matching curvature, it means a convex and a concave, right? Which we have. Like, does it mean matching as in the same, 2 concave or 2 convex? Or does it mean matching so that when you put them together, they interlock? I'm hoping it means that. Java Spirit, I don't think we have, though.
we did come across it because I made that joke about Java Spirit, didn't I?
Oh. Where is it then?
Don't remember. Maybe it just got mentioned.
Hmm.
There's not. Yeah, we don't have anything.
Lubanja. Lubanja or Java spirit is an essence distilled from the resin of certain Indonesian trees. It's an excellent solvent of substances which resist water. Ah, cool. So we do have it. It's just called Lubanja in our inventory. Okay, so we have everything I think we need for that. Okay, so I suggest we keep on exploring, and then in the interim, I see if we can perform whatever rituals, right? So that we can just go straight to having whatever the potion or the thing is next time we play. That's it though. Should we just go south to the paper garden? The last sort of area for us to check out is south, isn't it? So let's go there. Oh no, we haven't been. Have we been south from here? We haven't been south from here, have we?
Yeah, that's what we were just. We
Sorry.
couldn't remember we'd been in there.
Yes, the underward. This closet-sized room is reserved for the rest and relaxation of the ensigns. Normally, a few of you are about, studying or eating, or commonly both, but these are not normal times, and the room is abandoned. Someone has left a tiny receipt sheet on the floor. You notice somebody's torchlighter here. Not that any ensign would ever sneak an illicit roll-up. You can also see 2 chymic flasks, vitriolic acid, and alum here. Get all. Tiny sheet. The sheet describes another formula. The word of anaphylaxis inflames the sensitivity of contrary elements. You memorize the information, including the word of anaphylaxis. You also add the sheet to your bundle of paper. You've taken the flask of vitriolic acid, the flask of alum, and the torch lighter. Just look at the lighter. You've lit things with lighters all your life, nothing unusual here. It's a ceramic oval the length of your little finger. When you squeeze it, a little flame shoots out of the end. Okay. I think that's it. East, south. South to the paper garden. Paper garden. The garden is the marcher's refuge of meditation and calm. Paper paths wind among beds of paper flowers. The walls are hung with paper trees beneath a calm blue-painted ceiling. A tiny brick-lined pool lies at the garden centre. The place isn't large, but it doesn't feel small. You've always liked it. An opening to the north leads back to the retort's main corridor, and another south to the lower reaches. To the east, a paper arch gives entry to the paper hedge maze. The observatory door to the west is closed. Look at the trees. Paper silhouettes in the shapes of trees adorn the walls. They're hung in layers, giving an artful impression of hazy distance. Look at the pool. The pool is only 8 feet across. It's trimmed with tiny, neat bricks, no doubt to make the pool look bigger. Its importance is mostly symbolic after all, but somehow you can't make out the bottom from here. Okay. Wonder if it's connected to anything. It also looks like you have to go down through the flooded hatch to get up into the observatory, so I'm fully expecting this door to be locked. Try. It seems to be locked. Yes. Okay, that explains that. Okay. I mean, should we try going into the, like, diving into the pool? I might just save it and give it a go.
Yeah, why not? Well, you're not going to be able to go very far, are you?
Down. You take a deep breath and jump into the chilly water. In the water, the bundle of paper and the Zephranium dissolve. That's good to know. Good to know. Garden pool. You are floating in a well 8 feet across and perhaps 10 feet deep. The water is cold and still. The water's surface is a sheet of light above you, and the base of the well is a circle of darkness below. In the centre of the darkness, you see a darker hole, its opening in the floor below you, a narrow shaft running downwards out of sight. You kick downwards until your lungs heave in your chest, but the channel's end is still nowhere in sight. You flip around and stretch for the surface. You can't hold your breath much longer. Okay. Up, you break the surface, blow out breath, and pull yourself from the water. Okay. So, there we go. Some things, unsurprisingly, don't interact well with water. There is definitely something down there, though. Definitely something down there. Okay, so that's... Let's go south, then. Grand Stair Top. So where are we now? We're now here. There's a birdhouse there. And then this... Yeah, we can also go down. And then there's that fire corridor. Two hallways intersect beneath an elegant vault of brick red tile which sweeps around to follow a grand staircase down to the lower levels. The garden is visible to the north. To the west is the ornate door of the birdhouse, which is closed. The hall to the south is blocked by yet another fracture. The side corridor to the east is much the worse. Its far end seems to be on fire. You see someone caught beyond the fracture. Lieutenant Powers. He appears to be walking towards the birdhouse door. Oh, so can we not get to the birdhouse?
No.
Oh, we can. I see
he's
the
coming from the
fractures
south.
there. Yeah. You recognise Lieutenant Michael Powers, a thin man with a piercing stare. But why here? You know he's aetherophile, but a lieutenant wouldn't ordinarily have business in the birdhouse. Okay, let's go west into the birdhouse. Ooh, west. First opening the engraved door. You reach for the handle, but your fingers go numb and slide away. Lovely. With everything that's wrong on the retort, this one security stricture remains perfectly functional. It's reacting to your psychic signature. An ensign can't just walk into the birdhouse, so when you approach, the door gets defensive. Yes, defensive is a technical term in aura engineering. There's another aura cloud protecting the birdhouse. If we go east, Burning Hall west. This hall runs west to east from the grand stairs to the high wing. You've never been inside the high wing, and your chances don't look good today because it's on fire. The entire east end of the hall is enveloped in flame. You can't tell what's burning, the walls, the floor, but the heat is intense. You can't go any further. Okay. So we could next time try a potion. And the last area to go is... So we can't go south, can we? Was there anything south? It was just down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, down. Grand stair bottom. This basement is bare, square and dank. It has, as far as you're aware, no function whatsoever. Perhaps every house needs a basement, but the Navy does not stoop to clutter. The walls are tile. They arch up to join the grand staircase as it ascends to the main levels. The barracy lies to the east through a narrow iron gate with a brass lock. An irregular gap in the south wall opens out into a larger, darker space. The chamber has been defaced with more of the illegible black marks. Wait, a bit of clutter after all. A pale yellow bead is lying in the corner. It's an ivory bead. The bead is ivory, rather larger than your thumbnail, carved in pleasingly abstract swirls. You've seen them used for meditation or just thumb fiddling. They're supposed to represent spiritual calm, at least according to the knick-knack shop owners who sell them. Okay. I think that was something else that we needed for the breath thing, was it? For something. For the aura thing. We needed to have an environment of meditation or calm or something. Anyway, I want to get through this before we stop the game. So, with Barracy to the east and this widening area to the south, let's try east. First opening the iron gate, it seems to be locked. The gate is tall and narrow with heavy bars of wrought iron in an iron frame. It's always reminded you uncomfortably of a cemetery's side entrance. The gate is shut and the heavy brass lock is locked. You've never been inside. The room beyond looks like a bare stone tomb. Go south. Edge of chasm. You stand on a broad stone walk, a ledge on the eastern wall of a vast canyon. You are underground. The roof is an arch of stone above you, barely visible. The bottom of the abyss is lost in utter darkness. The chasm runs north and south out of sight. The ledge follows it south, but to the north it ends abruptly in a wall of stone. A gap in the wall leads north to the basement. Another passage squirms into the rock to the east. Boldly into the unknown, you think, even if it's the unknown reaches of my own marcher. It's a start, kid. Okay, so we can go north, south, or east.
East into the cracks.
East into the cracks. Confusing cracks. You are lost in a maze of claustrophobic cracks. You've stopped in a fairly wide space, but plains of basalt close in all around you. You could crawl in any imaginable direction. The largest passage heads back west. In the centre of this space is a thick column of stone, coloured an eye-catching indigo. It runs from floor to ceiling. A chip of basalt is here. It must have cracked loose from the walls. Get chip. I'm going to go back west to the edge of the chasm. Ledge follows it south. Chasm rubble. Rubble and fallen rocks litter the ledge here. You can walk north or south along the abyss, which waits patiently to the west. You have an unnerving sense of vertigo. The world seems to sway around you. A particularly massive slab lies at the chasm edge. Half its length rests on solid-ish ground, but the far half hangs out over empty space, quite unsupported. You see a bronze chime lying on the far end of the slab. It looks very far away. The idea of crawling out there makes you feel even more unsteady than before. Okay, so there's a bronze chime on the end of a thing, and if you walked out there to get it, it would presumably collapse. We can go further south. Oh, the ledge seems to sway under your feet worse and worse as you proceed. Chasm at bridge. The ledge is narrower here. To the south it ends abruptly. To the east you see the entrance to the deep library, a padlocked wooden door set into the canyon wall. To the west a naked stone span bridges the canyon. Vertigo assails you. What's going on here? Something must be wrong with the dragon Barros. That's what's supposed to keep gravity stable on the retort. You catch a spark of light reflected in the oculus from somewhere. Right, oh, we're in the deep stacks down here. And deep lab over there. Sepia spark. You focus on the sepia spark through the oculus. A new memory comes into focus. It concerns a phlegmatic sealing word. It has a stable passive pattern. Yin in the Oriental traditions, cool and moist in the Greek. You consider these memories, including the phlegmatic sealing word. East. The pine door seems to be locked. West. The waves of vertigo grow more intense as you stumble towards the bridge. The span itself seems to wobble, although you know it's just the unstable gravity throwing you back and forth. This is a bad idea. You don't think you could get even halfway across at this rate. Okay. So I think that's it.
Yeah.
That's the extent of what we can easily get to. Edge of chasm. Yeah.
Did you want to just quickly see if you could crawl out to pick up that brass thing?
Yeah, okay. I'll save.
Save, yeah.
Oops, so 16. Chasm. Get chime. You step out on the slab and kneel at the balance point, but when you lean forward, the entire thing shifts under your weight. You pull yourself back before the slab completely unbalances. Okay. All right. I think we'll leave it there. We've gone past 8 o'clock a little bit, but I think we now have all the information we need to make a little bit of progress next time. And yeah, I think we should not worry so much about the weird words and the way that the language is used. We could replace all of these words for our own words if we wanted to and make it a bit more meaningful. Clearly, he's chosen words that have some kind of connection to the thing that they're supposed to do. But yeah, he's inventing words and using words in ways that they weren't originally meant and stuff like that. And I'm not entirely convinced that the whole, doing rituals and things is a great game mechanic. It's a bit tedious to follow instructions and put together these things, but I can always do that. I can go through and check on these rituals and see if we've got all the things that we need. And then I can test that we can carry the things out. I honestly think that the important things to know about are the rituals, because that's what actually does things. And we've learnt a few this week. So we've learnt how to make a planetary lens. We've learnt how to make a breath holding potion. We've learnt how to make an aura impermeability spell. And we've learnt how to make electrum, which is another thing that we can use instead of phlogisticated gold, which we've also learned how to set fire to. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've learned 5 new things that we can do this week. And how we do them is immaterial, really. Although I think ultimately we're going to have to put some of these things together in different combinations in order to find stuff that we can't just find on paper. But yeah, we'll see when we get to that point. In the meantime, we're away on holiday next week, so there's not going to be an episode next Monday. It's our holiday, so
You're going to be
Lovely.
travelling home from London anyway.
I am.
Yeah.
well, that's good timing then. But yes, it'll be 2 weeks' time. Everybody who's watching, I hope you enjoyed it, and
Okay.
see you then.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye.